Let's discuss today lichens. Already I told you in the last class that what is lichen, but today we'll discuss a little bit in detail of this lichen. So this is a kind of plant made up of one algal partner and one fungus. So this is especially a symbiotic association. So this is a symbiotic association between this alga and fungus. And this algal part is called as phycobiome, and this fungus part is called as mycobiome. Okay, so this alga and fungus, they join together, mutual understanding is there, and they form lichens. So lichens are found in habitats like wall, window pans, barren rocks, cooled volcanic lava, tree bark, soil and aquatic habitats. Now different forms of lichen are available because lichens vary in color: orange, brown, dark brown, grey, yellowish green. So if you study the morphology of lichen, then you will find major three types. One is crustose lichen, one is foliose lichen, and one is fruticose lichen. So you can say lichen or lichen, crustose, foliose and fruticose. Now crustose lichens are crust-like and closely attached to the substratum. Then foliose is twisted and leafy-like, and fruticose is branched with bushy appearance, and also filamentous lichens are also available. Now internal structure, they are normally made up of the fungal mycelium and hypha. So the symbiotic relationship, this algal partner in phycobiome does the nitrogen fixation, photosynthesis and provide vitamins and other growth substances to the fungus. And what the fungal partner does, it is the outer covering of the protection, attachment to the substratum and protection against harmful radiations. Even it supplies the minerals also. So normally on the rocky surface, algae cannot grow, but rocky surface, when the fungus decompose the dead and decayed organic matter, then they grow easily. But on that fungus, when alga drops, then both together means the lichen. So lichen reproduce by formation of basidiocarp. So this spore formation is there in lichen also, because its major part is a fungus. So they also produce basidiocarp, and you know basidiocarp means what. Now this lichen, lots of importance of lichens are there. Like lichen produce dyes, lots of different dyes are there. So dyes are like earlier when the cave paintings are there, and the cave paintings are done by the people by this using lichen, grind powdered lichen. So many lichens are also producing medicines. So medicines are also produced by this lichen. And then medicines like Asnia, Cladonia, they produce antibiotics. Then Parmelia produce a medicine for epilepsy, and so lung diseases are also cured by some lichens. Some lichens are edible. Some lichens are edible. So like this one, Parmelia. Okay. And then some lichens are also in brewing industry also they come. So these are edible also. Certain lichens are edible, particularly in South India. These are edible by tribal people. And lichens are major ecological role is that these are the best indicators of pollution. So they are indicator of pollution, bioindicator we say. That means the more polluted area, if it is full of sulfur dioxide, then lichens cannot grow there. So by seeing the presence of lichen, we can understand what type of pollution rate is there. Okay, so this is the bioindicator. Another one, the lichens help in biological succession. I said that lichens grow in rocky surface where other vegetations are not possible, but lichens are the pioneer. So these are helping in biological succession. That after the lichens grow, they are the pioneer, and after that, when the followed by many vegetations come after lichens, and gradually the rocky surface is changing to a land surface where mesophytes can grow. So this is about lichen and its economic importance. Next we will come to virus. Yes, today's interesting topic is all about every people, that is virus. So what is this virus we will study today? What is the characteristics of this virus? So not COVID-19 virus, that is simple virus we will discuss. And animal kingdom, you know that viruses are kept separate. They are not included under any animal kingdom because they don't have cell structure. So no cell structure is there. The first character is that no cellular structure. Then what do they have? They have genetic material. They have genetic material and they have protein. So these two structures are present in virus. Now this genetic material can be the DNA and can be RNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. Now this DNA can be again single stranded and double stranded. This RNA can be again single stranded and double stranded. So this type of variety of genetic material are seen in this virus. Now the viruses have a little bit of this actually the virus R.H. Whitaker, they didn't put the virus in that classification, and viruses are non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure, and in inert virus outside the cell is called as virion. So there is a term you will get, is called virion. Okay, the inert crystallized inactive virus which is present outside the body is called virion. And then there is a viriod. Okay, there is a viriod, that's a low molecular weight virus having only genetic material without protein is called viriod. Okay, so this viriod and virions are there, and these viruses are obligate parasite, means they love their host and they don't leave the host. Once they get into the host, they cause the disease in the host, they harm the host. So they're obligate parasites. You can write these viruses are actually obligate parasite, means there is a very firm bonding between the host and this virus. So these are obligate parasite. And now come to the history, that is who discovered this virus. The name was given by Pasteur. Okay, it means the poisonous fluid or venom. Then D.J. Ivanovsky recognized the certain microbes and causative organism of the mosaic disease of tobacco. Then Bejernik demonstrated that extract of the infected plants of tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants, and that they showed contagium vivum fluidum. This means infectious living fluid. So this is virus is infectious living fluid. Infectious living fluid. And W.N. Stanley in 1935 showed that virus could be crystallized, and crystal consists largely of proteins. Now if you come to size of virus, the size of virus is like right now COVID-19 virus is what, 1 millimeter, that is one hole of that needle, one hole of the needle, sieving needle. If you divide that into 1 lakh part, then one part is that virus size. Okay, so that can be spherical, that can be cubical, helical, polyhedral. So different types of shapes are available. So here a plant virus is that is TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, and TMV looks like this is a genetic material, and outside that proteins are there, surrounded by each. These proteins are there, leafy like proteins, and these proteins are nothing but called capsid, and each member is called capsomere. The inside is a genetic material. Okay, inside is a genetic material. Now the viruses which contain RNA as their genetic material are called retrovirus. Okay, retrovirus. Now, so the retroviruses have reverse transcription and the reverse transcriptive enzyme. So types of viruses: plant viruses, that's a TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, and animal virus that cause the disease like influenza, smallpox, poliomyelitis, hepatitis, mumps. So all these diseases are caused by this COVID-19 again. And bacterial viruses are also there, and they are known as bacteriophage. So bacteria attacking viruses are called as bacteriophage. And it's a very interesting structure given in your book, which is having a head, sheath, collar, tail, fibers are there. And these viruses are attacking only bacteria, and they are called phage virus. Okay, so head is a protein cover, and then inside it DNA, double-stranded DNA is there, and tail fibers are there. Now, viruses reproduces by lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle. So, viruses reproduces by two terms I am giving, that is lysogenic and lytic cycle. And the common method of viral reproduction is that it enters into the host particle, it incorporates this DNA and RNA into the genome of the cell of host, and then along with that it replicates, that means it multiply, and when multiply the cell produce the phage, that's viruses, proteins of the viruses, and then viruses become more and more in number and infect the other cells. In this way it spread, within a few seconds it spread rapidly, okay, few minutes, okay. So once it has the control over the cell, then it multiplies very rapidly. So TODNR discovered new infections agent that was smaller than the virus and caused potato spindle tumor. That's the viriod. So viriod are the small circular RNA similar to this virus, but protein is not there. Okay, so they are low molecular. This viriod only contain genetic material, and so virions already you have discussed. So these viruses have similarly prions are also there. Prions are not affected by any proteins, and they contain only proteins. They also cause disease. Infections are there. So this way viruses are truly dangerous things for the animal kingdom, and also plant also virus cause lots of damage. So they are obligate parasite. So with this we have completed this biological classification, that is a chapter 2. Chapter 2 biological classification is over. Please solve the question answer of NCERT that we are going to discuss in tomorrow's online class. If you have any doubts, clear it in online class. Thank you.